the last thing I do. Swear to God.
What is the deal, beautiful people? Welcome to LD Photo, where we discuss our favorite passion, photography, all day, every day. My name is Ramon. Today's video is an AMA, and if you're new here, you're not sure how this works, you leave your question in the comment section down below, and we answer it in upcoming videos. Today's question is from grungrlistener. I'm using an old Pentax k100d, and I want to buy something newer, but I'm on a budget. I think we're all on a budget, homie. Don't feel bad. I got a lot of old Pentax lenses that are really fine, and I didn't want to sell them, so I looked at mirrorless. Sony popped up first, and great marketing, really good, but it was way out of my price range. I then found the Olympus OMD EM10 MKII. It's in my price range, and the lenses are really cheap in comparison to Sony. Still, I could use my old lenses with an adapter, which would make me happy. The only thing that I wanted to ask you is it worth it to buy in 2018? I do mostly nature photography, some landscapes, and portraits. First off, I gotta tell you, I did a video a long time ago on the channel about your camera never getting old, right? This is not something I had to tell you because you have you have a Pentax k100d. I had to go look this camera up to see what it was and what it offered. Wow, that camera's been around the block. The point of the video was your camera doesn't age like the rest of the technology around you. Your smartphone, after 2 years, because of the constant updates that happen, you can barely send a text message. It's slow. Apple's out here slowing down phones. It's just a different ball game. You pick up a 10-year-old camera that took amazing pictures 10 years ago, it's still going to take amazing pictures today. The part where you're asking, is it worth buying the OMD in 2018? Of course. There are better questions of what you could buy in relation in that market, in that price point, whatever your price point would be. But of course, it'd be worth it to buy the OMD Mark I. You get what I'm saying? So don't think of it that way. But doing some research on the Pentax k100d, that was quite a camera. I mean, back in the day, a 6 megapixel sensor. It has anti-shake, which was a big deal. It had this anti-dust thing, so when you turn it on, the sensor would sort of shake to get the dust off the sensor. So that's cool. 11 focus points. So this was a serious DSLR, and I guess this was the cusp of when DSLRs, well, SLRs were a thing still, and they were making a jump into DSLRs, and it was this era where you still couldn't get your work published with a DSLR because it still wasn't the quality of the physical prints coming from SLR because of things like noise and all that. So that I thought was an interesting period, and it's good to see that you had something that was around since then. So that's super dope, and I totally understand your need for looking for an upgrade. And to tell you the truth, you could upgrade from this camera to at 6 megapixels, you could upgrade from this camera to an iPhone and be happy. I feel your thoughts around Sony. Sony's cameras and Sony's capabilities, be it the A6000, the NEX line, the RX line, or the big boy A7 lines, Sony's are not a joke. Sony is not about marketing. I could say that with so many other of their products, and Sony does make really good things. And I've often said Sony is the anti-Apple because they make tasteful products and super dope products. In the photography world, you'd be hard pressed to find a Sony camera that fails, unless it just overheats, right? I see what you're saying, because when you start doing research on mirrorless, the word mirrorless is almost synonymous with Sony, and yes, they're pricey. And I hate that that's the way it is. Even if you look at the A6000 line, man, those cameras get up there, $1,500, even $1,200 for maybe the A6300. Like, that's a lot of money. I think you landed on a sweet spot, which is the Olympus OMD EM10 If you haven't seen it by now, I have a review on this channel. I have plenty of other videos about that camera on this channel. This is my street warrior. I love that Olympus camera. And not only is it my street warrior, it's my travel companion. And I roll around with 2 primes on that thing. 12mm prime, which is really a 24. Is it a 45? Yes, which is really kind of like a 90mm equivalent. I love everything about that camera. Don't be fooled about people trying to steer you away from micro four thirds. I've done plenty of videos on micro four thirds on this channel. Just search it. People try to tell you smaller is not better, and trust me, there's some magic about micro four thirds that I don't even understand. I promise you, some of the images that I pull out of my Olympus are sometimes sharper than what I get from my full frame Sony camera. By no means are you settling, right? Or don't feel like I'm buying the older one. Is it really that good? Yes, it is. The Olympus OMD Mark X is an amazing camera. It is a very fun camera to shoot. It's a very lightweight camera. What I would also look for though is, because you're used to that form factor of a DSLR, I would look into one of the Canons, like the T7i, T6i, and look into the Nikon competitors to that, only because that's what you're used to. I don't know, you mentioned, which I think is super dope, that you ended up here, you know, being able to use with mirrorless, use adapters to use your O lenses, so that's a plus. But just in case, check it out. Go down to your local camera store, Best Buy, Target, wherever I'm not sure. Hold the OMD, because it can be quite small. You may not like it, but hold it. Although there's a grip you can buy to make it better. Just giving you options. The rest of the community, you guys know this is a community thing. I want you guys to hop in the comment section below and give us your take on this comparison. Help the homie out. Let's see where he can go. Thank you so much for your question. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe. We got plenty more coming. Also, to engage even more with us, there's a link in our in the description to our Facebook group. We would love to have you. My name is Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace.
Well, I guess, and the reason we started Lifestyles Defined is because if we weren't on camera arguing about these things, the technologies, the phones, the iPhones, the Androids, the cameras, the games, we'd be on the phone arguing about it. We'd be in each other's houses arguing about it. So why not just put it in front of a camera for everyone to enjoy it the way we do? That's what Lifestyles Defined is all about. We just love this shit.